Hello, lovely. I'm Maria.
And my name is Rory, and we are the hosts of the IELTS Speaking for Success podcast, the podcast that aims to help you improve your speaking skills as well as your listening skills along the way.
We've started this podcast to give you gorgeous grammar and super vocabulary for a high IELTS score.
Your Band 9 score.
Oh, Rory, what's that necklace you're wearing? Oh, look at that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got it at a street market, actually.
Really? Street markets, shopping, on the street, at a market. Let's talk about street market, dear listener. Are there many street markets in your country?
Yeah, there are a few village markets that get put on from time to time, and occasionally they bring their wares to the city centres as well.
When was the last time you went to a street market?
That's a good question. I think it was when I was abroad, actually. There were rows of stalls flogging all kinds of things from jewellery to stationery. It was very interesting to see, actually. We don't see so many stationery stalls at street markets in my country.
Do you prefer shopping in a shopping mall or at the street market?
Well, I like to get everything in one go, so shopping malls cater to this nicely, unless I'm shopping for something special like a souvenir. Then I head down to the markets.
What do you usually buy at a street market?
Whatever catches my eye, really. Like I said, it's usually something that signifies a particular place or something for a specific person, so there's quite a range. One of the last things I picked up was a candle holder, actually, but before that it was a necklace. So, like I say, there's quite a lot of diversity in the things that I can buy from the street market.
As you know, we now release all of our premium content for free, and it's available for 1 month. After 1 month, it goes into our super secret archive. To sign up for the archive, click the link in the description below. See you soon.
Yay! So, dear listener, street markets. So, what's a street market? Usually, it's an open-air market. So, a shop in the open, okay? So, you go to a market square or to kind of like a big street or a square, and there is a market, open-air places, open-air markets. Usually, they happen on the weekend, but not necessarily. And there are different markets. For example, a market where you can buy food, or a flea market. Rory, what's a flea market?
Isn't that where you can buy second-hand things at reduced prices? Is that right? I've never been to a flea market, so I don't know.
No, oh wow. So there are like famous flea markets all over Europe, and they're quite like beautiful markets with music and food and dancing and different events, like every weekend. So you can buy second-hand clothes, bags, antiques, some vintage stuff, furniture, a flea market, like FLEA. Or you can talk about farmers market, where you can buy food, local products. There are also some, like garage sales. So, for example, if Rory wants to sell his stuff, Rory organizes a garage sale of his personal stuff.
Even though I don't have a garage.
Yeah, just like,
It's still called a garage sale. The reason why is that's usually where all of your old things are kept, if you are from a middle-class background. But I live in an apartment, so there is no need for a garage or a garage. I also don't drive, so there's like a compounding lack of need here.
So, dear listener, in your country, there are flea markets, there are garage sales, there are farmers markets, okay? Even if you don't know of them, there are lots of street markets. But some of them are called, aren't they like fairs? A fair. What's a fair?
A fair? That's less a market and more I think they're usually connected to some kind of celebration. So, for example, you might have a fair with different rides on for a particular holiday, and there might be stalls connected to that, but fairs and markets are generally separate things. One is about celebrating and having fun, and one is about buying things.
So a fair is a large public event where goods are bought and sold, usually from tables that have been specifically arranged for the event. Yeah, actually, a craft fair. And you go there and you can buy some wooden stuff from local people. So a craft fair. You can talk about like craft fairs or vegetable fairs that are organized every weekend in your city or village, wherever you live.
If indeed they are.
People bring their wares to the city centers. Wares. Rory, what do you mean by wares?
Wares are just the things that they sell. Or the things they make in order to be sold.
Their products, their goods, their wares. When the examiner asks you, when was the last time you went to, or when was the last time you saw, and then you react naturally, dear listener. It's super band 9 important. You just say, well, I don't know really. That's a good question. Well, let me think. Like, street market. Probably it was when I was abroad, actually. Okay? So a very natural response from Rory. And then you talk about stalls. So when you are at a market, you see different stalls. And a stall is where products are laid out for you. A stall, like a vegetable stall, a large kind of table with products. And you can say that there were rows of stalls. So lines of stalls, many stalls. And people sold all kinds of things from jewelry to stationery. So all kind of things. Rory, if I say that I can buy knickknacks at a market, what do I mean?
Is that not just, you buy odds and ends, which is another word for bits and pieces?
Yeah, so all you kind of like little thingies, like little like...
Yeah.
Usually we don't need them, but little, I don't know, souvenirs, magnets, I don't know, some useless stuff, but which is so cool when you are at a market. You can say like, lots of knickknacks. I usually get bits and pieces for the kitchen, for my house, for myself, some like hats, socks, I don't know, yeah. And second-hand goods.
It's good to have bits and pieces, because that is a binomial, which is a special kind of fixed expression in English. It's always bits and pieces. It's not pieces and bits. It's similar to things like salt and pepper or fish and chips. We don't say chips and fish, and we don't say pepper and salt. So these kinds of fixed expressions are quite useful to have.
You can say that I usually pick up some bits and pieces for my house. I usually pick some, choose, buy. I usually shop for knickknacks, like different souvenirs, local produce, local food. Yeah. Or maybe, dear listener, pirated goods. Some pirate stuff. Illegal stuff.
Oh my God, we cannot talk about that on the podcast.
Oh, no? Okay, all right, okay.
Maria encouraging piracy. You can't encourage intellectual property theft when what we sell is intellectual property.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. You can also shop for local delicacies, dear listener. So local foods, yum. So I usually pick up some local delicacies. I can shop in a mall or at the street market. And Rory, do we say at a market, in a market, on a market?
I think normally we talk about, things are in a market for the physical space, but also at the market for a specific event as well. But those things can be interchangeable.
You can say that I prefer to get everything in one go. So I go to a shopping mall, I get everything in one go, in one place, at once. Wow, nice, Rory.
No, it's just efficient.
I shop for something special. So if I'm shopping for something special, like different knickknacks, souvenirs, I head down to the markets. Yay. Head down to, I go to the markets. I just head down to the market. Or if I need to get hold of something special, to buy, to pick up, get hold of something special, I head down to the markets. Yeah. And you can say that I can haggle at a market. Roy, what do we do when we haggle?
It's kind of like a special kind of negotiating for the price, which I am terrible at. So it's like the vendor establishes a price and you go lower, and then they offer an alternative, and then you offer an alternative. So it's like a friendly argument over the price. But again, some people are very good at this. I am not. I just like to get the thing and leave. But for some people, it's a very important part of their culture and how things are bought and sold.
Yeah, you can say that I enjoy haggling. So when the seller, vendor is a person who sells products. He says, oh, like this jacket is $100. No, it's $50. I'll get it for $20. No, 50, no, 60. So this is like haggling. And you can find a good bargain at the market. So you can find a thing at a good price, a good bargain.
Maybe, if you're good at it.
You haggle and then you get a bargain. So you buy something at a very good price. And what do we usually buy at street markets? Well, again, nicks and necks, bits and pieces for your house, local produce, local delicacies, yum, food, fresh veggies, and whatever catches my eye. All right, so you're just like walking along a street market. Oh, okay. Some cups. All right, so you get some cups. Whatever catches my eye. And you can say that one of the last things I picked up, a phrasal verb, was a candle holder. Again, something, just bits and pieces, a candle holder. Wow. And a necklace.
I was trying to remember why I bought the candle holder there, but it was just because it was nice.
Yeah, that's,
I like the design.
The benefits of street markets. They just like nice designs, and you shop around and you find a bargain and you can haggle. There are affordable prices. So there are different sellers and vendors or sellers. You can chat with them, like usually there is a nice atmosphere, and you get to meet your local community, local vendors. But it could be unhygienic, could be dirty.
And that could be true of anything, anywhere.
Yeah. They could be packed with lots of people. But yeah, when I was traveling around Europe, we would go to a flea market every weekend. So, for example, I remember a flea market in Greece, in Athens, also in Italy, in Paris. Yeah, because kind of you see like real people, local people. So even if you don't buy anything, like such places have a very unique atmosphere, and this is something like connected to culture. And if you want to know a city, go to a flea market. Yeah, kind of that's another glance at the city. If you want to feel the city, to plunge into the city's atmosphere. Yeah, and we have a joke.
We do?
Of course, we have a joke.
Is it about flea markets?
No, Rory, you're a killjoy. You've just killed my joke. Why?
Well, you were talking about it.
I'm gonna tell the joke anyway. So, what kind of markets do dogs hate?
Is it a flea market, Maria?
Yes.
Oh.
Right, dogs hate fleas. And a flea is an insect, dear listener. Fleas, this annoying, disgusting insect.
Are fleas insects? Fleas were arthropods.
Yeah, no, it's an insect according to the Cambridge Online Dictionary.
Is it?
Popular science, Rory. We don't go into details.
Oh, we should.
So, a very small jumping insect that feeds on the blood of animals. Disgusting. So usually it's in the hair of cats and dogs and even people. So yeah, that's why dogs hate fleas. And what kind of markets do dogs hate? Flea markets. Right, dear listener. We're done. Thank you very much for listening.
Sexy fleas.
And we'll get back to you.
Bye.
Bye. Are there many street markets in your country?
Yeah, there are a few village markets that get put on from time to time, and occasionally they bring their wares to the city centres as well.
When was the last time you went to a street market?
That's a good question. I think it was when I was abroad, actually. There were rows of stalls flogging all kinds of things from jewellery to stationery. It was very interesting to see, actually. We don't see so many stationery stalls at street markets in my country.
Do you prefer shopping in a shopping mall or at the street market?
Well, I like to get everything in one go, so shopping malls cater to this nicely, unless I'm shopping for something special like a souvenir. Then I head down to the markets.
What do you usually buy at a street market?
Whatever catches my eye, really. Like I said, it's usually something that signifies a particular place or something for a specific person, so there's quite a range. One of the last things I picked up was a candle holder, actually, but before that it was a necklace. So, like I say, there's quite a lot of diversity in the things that I can buy from a street market.